What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to talk about Lamarcus Aldridge taking his talents to the Brooklyn Nets, who just got Blake Griffin, who has been playing a lot better than he played in Detroit already. And now they just add another one. And it's just absolutely crazy how the Brooklyn Nets went from being D'Angelo Russell, a guy that was an all-star and people thought that was crazy 2 years later. And now all of them are gone. No more Spencer Dinwiddie. No more Karis LeVert. No more Jared Allen. No more D'Angelo Russell. No more of the coaching staff. Everybody's gone. And now this is KD and Kyrie's team. And now you add James Harden on it. Now everybody's coming and everybody wants to play. And now it's just kind of funny to look at this roster and like, this team has everything you need, whether it's shooting, whether it's playmaking, whether it's clutch, takeover, win me a game, carry me to a game, carry the offense. They have everything that you need and then more. They say the rich get richer, and it is true today, as I wasn't expecting Lamarcus Aldridge to sign with the Brooklyn Nets, honestly. But if I had to put myself in the Brooklyn Nets shoes, you do this. You do this. The thing about it is, what will Lamarcus Aldridge's role be? We know he's coming off the bench. Will he be a 15, 25-minute guy? Is Lamarcus Aldridge just in ring chasing mode? What will he do in the playoffs? Will he even be a big part of that? Do he even care about that? To leave the Spurs where you're starting and you're getting a lot of opportunity to play a lot of minutes and have a big role on the team, to go to a team that doesn't really need you as much and is not going to rely on you really at all compared to the Spurs and other teams that he could have went to. It looks like Lamarcus Aldridge at 35 have come to Jesus moment right now, where he looks at this team and see how loaded and how well they've been playing, even without KD and even with them. And he's saying, hey, I've been knowing these guys for a while, just like Blake Griffin. I'm about to come here, play hard, work hard, and let's just roll the dice and see if I can win a title. And this team is obviously one of the favorites to win this thing. And I see why. I picked the Nets to be one of the best teams in the East, but this team has completely changed within 3 months. And I didn't see all of this happening 3 months ago, but honestly and truthfully, if you're a Nets fan, you should be happy right now because you have injury replacements. You have some of the best backups you can have at a lot of positions. And you basically can put any type of lineup out there and be successful, whether an injury happens or not. You have so much talent right now that they don't win a title, this will be a disappointment. This will be absolutely embarrassing outside of a major injury happening to one of their three guys. This team is the best team in the East. If I had to predict the best team in the East, it is the Brooklyn Nets. And it's obvious. Like, who wouldn't agree unless you're a stubborn fan? This is just fantastic. Like, that you can amass this much talent in that amount of time. They made it look easy because every time you look around, they're signing this guy. They're trying to get this guy. And then they end up with Nicholas Claxton, Blake Griffin, Lamarcus Aldridge, Iman Shumpert, and all of those guys are solid role players. All those guys are great contributors. But when this is your roster within 3 months, alongside getting James Harden on top of that, who was an all-star and in the MVP conversation, and before then, Kevin Durant was in the MVP conversation playing his best basketball we have seen within 3 years, and Kyrie is playing his best basketball of his career on top of that. So this team is dangerous. This team is scary, and this team you don't want to play. If you can avoid this team, do it. Even if you're in the NBA Finals, you really don't want to see this Nets team because this team is like an all-star team. It's like if you would have told me that this team would have happened, even if these guys aren't the same, even if these guys aren't the players that they used to be. They just names at this point. Blake Griffin and Lamarcus Aldridge are starters in this league, and you basically have the option to pick both of them up at this point. I know it sounds crazy when you look at their numbers before they came, but these are still starters in the league, and now you just have them coming in whenever you want. That's a luxury. Not too many teams have that privilege. Not too many teams can do this, and they done it. They abused their power of having recruiters and respected players around the league, and they have took it to the max. But it is a lot of pressure now to get it done. It's no more we need this or they got to figure this defense out. They got to figure out how to play. It's kind of like the whole point is to get a great coach and to get talent. And if you can acquire those two things, you got a shot. But they have done both things at the highest level that you can possibly do it on. And now it's just about getting through the regular season and seeing how they can figure what lineups work, what works, what don't work, and how they're going to defend with the new pieces that they have added and who's going to be playing the minutes. And once they get over those minor things within the next 2 months, this team should be ready to go. This team should be firing on all cylinders. People already look at this team as probably one of the greatest offensive teams that you can probably put together. And that was before all these acquisitions. And now after all of them, they pretty much have a perfect roster. And that's hard to say because usually teams have holes or teams have parts where they come up short, even if it's just in depth because of the stars. But they have the depth in the stars and incredible role players. I'm just fascinated how they've been able to do this in 3 months. And it is just unrealistic for this to happen. And this is because the talent in the league has grown so much that these guys are afterthoughts. These guys are throwaways right now. You have a guy that's averaging 17 and 10 being bought out by the Cavaliers, and that never happened before. It hasn't, but it is reality now. And the draft is still coming, and we still have free agency after the season, and more guys are going to be able to sign and be picked up, and being able to go through other situations to where they can get picked up. But I never thought I'd see the day where a team can acquire so much talent in such a short period of time. And to me, I don't even know what to think. Like, you can play Lamarcus at center, you can play him at power forward. You can go 3-4 weeks without playing him at all, and you still go win a bunch of games or a championship. That's just the reality right now of this team. And even for them to get Blake Griffin for basically nothing, and it's just incredible for what they've been able to do. Like, they went from they have to play James Harden, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant so many minutes just so they can win to now they can just sit back and kick it, play 25, 35-minute range and still be blowing teams out or winning those games and don't even have to put out as much effort and energy into the playoffs come when the rotation is slim and the lineup slim and you know what you are and what you're trying to do. This team has an incredible roster, and I'm just in awe that how they have been able to do this. And if you're a fan of any other team than the Nets, you hate it. If you're a fan of any other team in the league, you hate this. Just because it just increased their chances of being the champions, and that's what everybody made deadline moves for. That's why everybody doing the buyout moves for, to increase their chances. The Nets have done that very rapidly. This is the first season with Kyrie and Kevin Durant healthy, and look at the roster they came in with when they signed. Then look at what they came in with this season, and look at the roster they're going to have going into the playoffs. That's incredible. I have never seen anything like this before, but it has been done now. They have a huge target on their back, and they have huge expectations after these last couple moves. And this is championship or you one of the most overrated teams in NBA history. That's the only option. Is either you winning it or you was overrated. Or you flop to the point where you can't live it down. Other than that, this is amazing, and it's crazy. And I'll be back to with another video Sunday.